Hey guys, Jeff Gibby over at MetaStock with Business Development here. 5 years ago, we released one of the most successful products we've ever had as a third-party product for MetaStock, and today I'm going to show you how we've improved that product. So let's go. Of course, the product in question is the Steve Bigelow's Candle Profit Systems. And I just can't say enough good things about Steve Bigelow. Steve is a guy that we've traveled all over the country with, all over the planet with, do a lot of training with him. And certainly, when it comes to Steve, and things that I want to say about Steve is he's a great guy. He's a good trader. Some of the methods that I'm going to show you, I actually implemented my own trading in the trading that I do personally. In addition to that, I've shown the methods that Steve teaches all over the world. I routinely do webinars around Steve's methodologies, and maybe as a result, maybe not, I always get feedback from customers who love the Candle Profit Systems. Like I said, this is the second version. We released the first version of CPS maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and the reason we haven't updated it in such a long time is we did such a good job with it, the initial version, that I really didn't know what we could go in, and even though it's been successful, I didn't really know what we could add. But it turns out as things have evolved, as Steve's methods have evolved, there's some new patterns that he's kind of put into the mix. In addition to that, he's got some new single-day patterns. And so what we've done is we've created a very comprehensive upgrade to one of our most successful products of all time. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what the Candle Profit System 2 does, what we've added to it. And even if you're not familiar with the first version of it, I'll give you a really good understanding of what it's designed to do. So let's go ahead. In essence, the Candle Profit Systems, what it's designed to do is it's designed to find all of the patterns that Steve uses in his trading. And on this screen right here, what I've got is I've got a listing of all the multiple day patterns that Steve likes to use. And there's the ones that are new, just to call those out, are the bobble, the Doji sandwich, and the muffin sandwich. In addition to that, the other ones were pre-existing. One of the other things that we decided to add when we identify these on a chart are what he calls the most profitable single-day patterns. So these would be like your Doji, the bullish engulfing, the hammers, the piercing lines, the shooting stars, that kind of stuff. The most important single-day patterns. So what we did with the upgrade and what we did with this initial build of the system is we decided to go in and add all of the systems on the chart. Right here, what I've got is I've got a weekly chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And you'll notice right here we've got all of the patterns identified. Now this is a template that you apply to the chart. When you apply it to the chart, what it's going to do is it's going to apply all the moving averages, it's going to apply the stochastic indicator, and then it's going to automatically start labeling all of the 36 or 40 different patterns that are actually available in this thing. And you can see them right here on the chart. On a weekly Dow chart, I just want to point out how good these actual signals look right here. Right here, before we had this massive sell-off recently, you had your bullish engulfing. You had a dumpling top right before that. But if you look at this huge trend, and right now as we record the video, we're just kind of concluded one of the biggest bull runs in the history of the Dow. But you'll notice all along the top here, you had a bit of a doji to get in, had a bit of a bearish engulfing, it pulled back just a little bit, went into a left-right combo, onto a slow curve, onto a hammer, onto a fry pan bottom, all the way up this huge bullish trend. You were getting entry signals that this thing was going to keep running off. So we'll identify all of those patterns on the chart for you. And in addition to those, if you're not familiar with MetaStock, one of the functionalities that you might not be aware of is kind of what we call our expert commentary. And to get to, I'm going to go ahead and open up the expert commentary here and just kind of give you an idea. The expert commentary, what it is going to do by default is it's going to allow you to see kind of an analysis on the current day. So as soon as I open it up, we have a little bit of a triangle that forms here. There's no patterns that we're going to talk about right here, but you'll just see kind of a little bit of an overview or a summary of the chart. Okay. Now, if you ran a scan to find these patterns, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to find maybe a J hook or a bullish kicker or any of your favorite patterns that you like of Steve. For me personally, that would be like your J hook pattern. But if you run a scan, what it's going to do is you're going to be able to come into this chart on a bull kicker day, and it's going to tell you exactly what a bullish kicker is and how to take advantage of that. So to kind of give you a little bit of a clear insight onto this, we're going to tell you the bullish kicker presents consistent trading opportunities for long position. This signal is even more powerful when it forms at a major support level. The larger the dark candle at the bottom is, the more powerful the reversal, and your exit strategy will be swift upon any trading below the open of the previous day's candle chart. So what he's saying is it's a very good long opportunity. Go ahead and take an entry position and put a stop loss in on the open of the prior trading bar. So giving you really good advice. The other thing I love about this particular product is not only the identification of all the patterns, but the ability to find them. So if we're looking at Dow today, we've obviously had a few weeks in a row now where it's been in a general uptrend. Obviously, we've had a huge corrective sell-off right here, but we've been kind of in an uptrend, and it would be a good idea for us to be able to find patterns. And that's where MetaStock and CPS can work hand in hand with you to help you identify those good patterns on a chart. And to do that, what we use a concept that's called we call it the Explorer, but it's really just market scanning. So let me open that up, and I kind of want to give you a little bit of a preview on how that works. Right here, I've come up to our scanning column, and right here, if I scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see the CPS signals. So if I hover over any of these signals, basically they've broken them up into different categories, so you can kind of just run the scans that you're interested in, or whatever it happens to be. So right here, if I run a Doji Dynamite, this will find your Doji at the top, your Doji Best Friend, your left-right bullish combo, your left-right bearish combo, series of Doji, and your muffin sandwich. Whereas I could run one of the power signal scans and find bearish kickers, bullish kickers, that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and look at the report. I've already run this. A couple of the other scans that I'll talk about is in the new version, you're going to have 2 new scans that are available. There are actually 3 new scans. One of them is what we call the major patterns, and that'll find those new single-day patterns that we added. But you'll also notice that there's a universe and a universe oversold scan. Now, these work a little bit different than the scans that you'll run on a daily basis. What these are designed to do is they're designed to go through, let's say, all of the optionable stocks or all of the ETFs or all the stocks that you might be interested in, and they're going to filter out stocks that are below $5 and don't meet a minimum volume requirement. So on these ones, generally I'll run these about once a quarter. Save that as a list that I run on a daily basis to kind of get my signals out. And in the 40-minute video that comes as part of this, I actually walk through that process of exactly step-by-step how you run the scan and save the list on a quarterly basis. Okay, but on a daily basis, what you're going to do is you can come in here, you put a check mark right next to the scans that you want to run, and what we're going to do is we'll just take a look at the report. So the one I want to actually look at is this Doji Dynamite report. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. I'll go ahead and take a look at the report. I'm going to close my power console in the background here, and you'll see we had a Doji at the top, a Doji Best Friend, left-right bullish, left-right bearish. And if a 1 exists in this column, then it basically means there's a Doji Best Friend. So to state that in a slightly different way, there's a 1 in the Doji Best Friend for both Z-Link and Every Holdings, meaning that had a Doji Best Friend pattern today. So now if I want to go ahead and open up the chart, I'll go ahead and do that now. And I'm just going to kind of move this off to the side so it's a little bit out of the way. Let's go ahead and open up the Every Holdings. We'll take a look at how that works. And with just a couple mouse presses, I'll go ahead and apply the template here for CPS. Okay. And let's go ahead and move this report down here. I'm going to change this to a daily chart simply because I scan for a daily pattern. And we'll go ahead and zoom in just a little bit. And I'll have you notice real quick here, here we had a bit of a dark cloud. Again, a fry pan bottom formed right before this move up. Right now we're getting that Doji best friend. Now you might wonder, okay, well, what is a Doji best friend and how do I trade it? And so that's what the commentary comes in for. So if we say, okay, a Doji best friend is a Doji in an oversold condition. He uses stochastics to identify an overbought, oversold condition, followed by a gap up in price. Traders should be alert for this opportunity to get into a new long positions. A gap up after a Doji or spinning top formation while prices are in the oversold area is an excellent alert. Expect the strength of the uptrend to be greater if the last par closed above the 8 exponential moving average. Exit the trade if subsequent trading closes below the 8 exponential moving average or any trading back below that initial Doji signal. Okay, we do give some enhancements in terms of things that you can look for. The reason we put in enhancements is actually pretty simple. A lot of times you'll be running a scan. In this case, we have 2 that we can look at. But you might get 8 or 10 back that are Doji best friends, and you want to be able to evaluate exactly which trade it looks the best. In that case, what you'd be looking at is you'd be looking at the further away the Doji occurs below the 8 exponential moving average, or the T line, the better the signal will be and the higher the probability of the reversal. Or if the day after the Doji gapped up above the T line or closes above the T line, the higher the probability of the trend is. So those are the 2 things that you can look at while you're evaluating the different setups to figure out which ones are the best for you. So in a nutshell, that's the product. That's really kind of what it's designed to do. In total, we have 36 different patterns, 7 different explorations to help you find all of Steve's patterns. And we outline all of that on the chart for you. Everything, all of his patterns are going to be identified on the day that they happen. All of the explanations in terms of what you need to be doing are going to be happening on that day as well. Again, all of the patterns that between the multiple day patterns and the single day patterns, in total, it's going to basically give 36 different patterns that Steve has worked with. By far, it's one of the most comprehensive identifiers, and the only one that I'm actually aware of that'll identify all of Steve's patterns in such a clear and concise manner. It's no surprise to me that this product is as well liked as it is. When you pick up the candle profit systems, you're going to get 6 explorations. Everything that you need to look at is going to be encompassed in that one expert advisor view. So every single pattern is going to show up on the chart. There are 3 different layouts. For the most part, you'll use the CPS one. We have a different layout or a different view that you should use if you're doing futures. The product will work with any instrument, whether it's futures or Forex or ETFs. Personally, I like to use it with stocks and optionable stocks. And as part of that pattern, or as part of the package, as soon as you order, you're going to get a 40-minute training session that we put into 2 parts. One part is actually Steve talking a little bit about the patterns, giving you some advice on how to implement it. The other 40-minute session is me going step by step through the product and explaining to you exactly how to run the scans, how to go through and set up your filters and your stock lists that you can scan every day. And then, of course, how to run the scans as well. The product itself is only a one-time cost of $399. It's been rated it's been rated one of the best products in Stocks and Commodities magazine multiple times. Again, I get such good feedback from our users about this product. I'd encourage you to try it. I'm sure you're going to like it. We do back it with our 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. And if you already own CPS, there are upgrades available at a reduced price, so you should contact our staff at 1-800-882-3040. So go ahead and try it out. You won't regret it. The phone number again is 800-882-3040. If you're international and you want to chat online with us, maybe you have some questions, visit us at metastock.com/saleschat. Want to say thank you for watching the video. Try this particular product. You're going to love it. And thanks for watching the video.